up, YouTube? Got a yo-yo review to do today. This is the YoYoFactory Czech Point Pivot. So the YoYoFactory Czech Point Pivot is the follow-up to the YoYoFactory Pivot that was in a mystery box. Now the Pivot was really just sort of a basic V-shape. This is really the upgrade or the next incarnation of the YoYoFactory Czech Point. So the YoYoFactory Czech Point came out a while ago, I want to say 2013-ish, and highly beloved yo-yo by lots of players. I did end up selling mine at one point, which is why when YoYoFactory put out the B-grades, the B-grade sale of the new Czech Point Pivot, especially in this brown and black, I was like, oh man, I gotta pick me up one of those. So I did. I picked me up one, and gotta say, this thing's a blast. YoYoFactory, I feel like, does a really good job sort of keeping fun yo-yos in, but also kind of making sure they perform really well. I wouldn't say this is the greatest performance yo-yo ever, or the most competition-oriented throw the YoYoFactory has, but it's definitely really fun, and I've been carrying it a ton. I got it this weekend. It finally showed up in the mail, and I've been carrying it a ton. I've already dinged it, as you can see. Come on, focus. I've already dinged it. It happens, but it's cool. I've been throwing it a lot. Really fun, really enjoying it. Not really sure why it's B grade, really good. But let's get into the specs here. So the diameter is 56 millimeters. The width is 43.6 millimeters. The gap width is 4.5 millimeters, which is very standard. The weight is 65.3 grams. It feels light, it is light, it plays light. Bearing size C, standard center track bearing, comes with the white CBC slim pads, designed in the USA, made in China. So I picked mine up for 20 bucks on YoYoFactory's amazing B-grade sale, but they do retail at $54.99. They're in stock right now on Yo-Yo Expert in pretty much all the cool colors. Ooh, there's a black. They even have some with palm caps now. I don't think this is a palm cap. This is an aluminum cap, but some of them even have palm caps. So I think YoYoFactory has switched from the aluminum cap to the palm cap. So the newer versions of this will have a palm cap. This one has aluminum though, and gotta say, really been enjoying it a ton. It plays very similarly to the original Czech Point, but it's a little bit lighter and has a little bit of that hollow feeling because it is hollow. This cap's press fitted in. Has a little bit more of a hollow feeling than the original Czech Point. The original Czech Point felt a little more solid on the string, and I think it was more like 66.5 grams. It was a little heavier as well. Original Czech Point, I feel like, was an overall better competition throw. It spun, it had more power, it spun longer, it had longer spin times, it was a little more stable. This, however, is fun. It's a little more fun, it's a little less boring because of that hollowness. It's a little more quick and nimble and kind of, floaty's not the right word for it, but it's lighter. It plays light, and it doesn't play with a ton of rim weight. Kind of plays, like I said, a little bit hollow, which is kind of a neat and unique feeling if you've never played a yo-yo that sort of wasn't, like, that had like a cap with hollowness underneath. It's a unique feeling. It does finger spin like a dream. You get it right in there, and it just, and I'll show you that when we throw it around. But I mean, awesome finger spin yo-yo. Just as good as the original Pivot, maybe even a little better, because the diameter is a little bigger, so it's easier to land it. And it is really easy to land finger spins. If you don't know how to finger spin, you can learn how to finger spin on this in like 20 minutes. Super easy, super easy. But let's go ahead and throw it around a little bit. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, we are back with the Czech Point Pivot. As you can see, I got it in this awesome brown and black color. I really like brown yo-yos. I don't really have a good reason why, but I just do. So first thing you notice from throwing it is that it's pretty fun. It's got kind of, like I said, that like sort of hollow feeling. If you ever threw the original Pivot, like the original Pivot's really the only other yo-yo that I could say kind of feels like that. It's a little more solid feeling than, say, the Magic Yo-Yo, what is it called? It's the, I don't know, the Magic Yo-Yo finger spin one, the Skyba. A little more like solid feeling than the metal Skyba. At least the one I had. I haven't tried any of the newer ones yet. But the one thing that it does kind of sacrifice over the original Czech Point is a little bit of stability in spin time. As you can see, it sort of started to get away from me there, and it's a little less solid than the original one was. But that's okay, because it has a cool, nifty gimmick, and it is fun. So while I wouldn't say, oh, this is going to be my new competition yo-yo if I was in a competition, because you're going to put yourself at a little bit of a stability and spin time disadvantage. But to have a fun yo-yo like this in your collection would be cool. Comes in awesome colors, spins a long time. It's great long finger spins. Binds are a problem though. YoYoFactory uses these white pads pretty much standard, and I don't feel like they're grippy enough. I feel like they're just too slippy to bind a laceration bind at all, and it kind of, to me, ruins it. Now you can switch pads out, but I really wish YoYoFactory would switch from the white pads to those clear, smoky, just regular silicone pads instead of the white ones. I know they've probably got 50 zillion of these white ones just laying around, and I just throw these ones in the yo-yo. But I hate these pads. They're not they're not grippy enough, and they really, to me, kind of just mess everything up. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not ideal. So that's gonna be when I do pros and cons. I'm gonna harp on that. But otherwise, I mean, for just a regular yo-yo, it's nice and light, so it kind of moves pretty quick. That being said, its spin times aren't super great, and it's not that stable. So as far as like using it, see what I mean? Pad's just not reliable. But as far as just using it to like learn tricks, I don't know if I'd use it as like a learner yo-yo, but it's kind of like everyday carry yo-yo to show people, you know, fun things like finger spins and just carry around and have fun with. It's great for that, but it does sacrifice a little bit of stability when it comes to, you know, this versus the original Czech. Now, as far as grind finish is concerned, this is the best grind finish YoYoFactory does. It's that nice powdery bead blasted finish. Excellent. Best one they do. It's great. Even in the humid, hot weather, it grinds awesome. No qualms there. Despite me having dinged it, it's still dead. This is smoother. This B grade is smoother than a lot of A grade YoYoFactories I have. Like, this thing is dead smooth. And I've taken it apart. Like I showed you, I have dings. Dead smooth. So they did an awesome job on these. These were QC'd and machined really, really, really well. And you'll see that a little bit too when I take it apart. I'm not really sure what made this a B grade other than the stamp that was on it, because it looked perfect out of the box to me. And it doesn't have any vibes, so it must have an anode flaw somewhere that I just can't see. Maybe there was a scratch in the cup or something that I didn't notice. But whatever. Machining marks in the cup or something. I don't know. I just figured those were there for me. But it's great. I mean, really a fun yo-yo. I think YoYoFactory really did a good job of designing and putting together a fun yo-yo that still performed really well. Like, it's not gimmicky, and I wouldn't say that it's a gimmicky finger spin yo-yo, but you do give up a little bit of, like, stability, just a little bit though, just because of the design. Now the bearing's getting loud on it, but it still spins pretty well. Like, it didn't come back hard there, but I just did kind of a longer trip combination. So yeah, I'm really digging it, having a good time with it, and I like that they had them on the B grade sale, because I think this was a great price for it, and I think it looks great, and it plays really good too. No thumb grinds, you're not going to be able to thumb grind that. It's just, unless you have the tiniest thumbs ever, it's just not going to happen. But let's go ahead and throw it back on the desk, we'll take it apart, and we'll do pros and cons. Alright guys, we are back on the desk with the YoYoFactory Czech Point Pivot. Also, other cool thing about the B grade is it doesn't have the engraving on the side, which is awesome. I like that. I prefer no engraving. That little B engraving is kind of cool. It is on both sides. I haven't cleaned or lubed the bearing yet, and probably gonna need to do that now because it just started making noise. But yeah, Finally, it died. It did the thing on camera. Probably cat hair. Thanks, Penny. But you know, it happens. So I'll clean it and lube the bearing, and it'll be perfect again. But it was really good. So the bearing is stuck in the seat. As you can see, white YoYoFactory pads. White pads are no good. I don't like them. I wish they wouldn't use them. They just aren't grippy enough, especially for a yo-yo that you're gonna want to finger spin on, because that laceration bind needs kind of snaggier pads. At least for me, it does. So yeah, a little tough to bind, especially the finger spins with the white pads. So I will probably switch those out because I think they're hard to use and they're not grippy enough. But machining, very simple shape, exactly the same as the original Czech Point. Just kind of that like VW shape. No real change for that. The big change is the cup here. It's the same like pivot type of cup that the YoYoFactory Pivot had. Little finger spin dimple in there. It doesn't, the hole's not too deep, so it kind of fits any size finger, including my sausage fingers, and just kind of guides your finger down in there and gives you nice long finger spins. Machining on this was very good. Like I showed you guys, it was very smooth despite me dinging it, and a very smooth yo-yo, and it came apart nice, and also goes together really nice. Like it's one of the best. This is one of the best machined yo-yo factories that I've had the pleasure of opening up, playing with, and messing with. Really, really nice overall quality. I can see why they're a little more expensive, because they just kind of up the overall quality of these. The splashes look great. I like the two-tone colors that they used, the different color caps with the different color bodies. And I really like that they kind of took some chances with some colors too. You don't see a lot of brown yo-yos, but this brown and black was just awesome. I think this is one of the coolest colors I've ever seen on a yo-yo, and I'm really a big fan. I really like it. It's been on my desk pretty much since it showed up, and I've played it every day. Really a big fan of this color, and I think they did a really good job mix and matching colors, because these yo-yos look really cool, and they're really different looking than anything else that I've seen, or that I have, which clearly is good. So, you know, if you're the kind of guy, and I know some of you are, who are like, man, nothing's different, everything's all the same. This is pretty different, and it's got different colors and colorways and stuff. Definitely worth looking into. I think it's cool. I'm enjoying it. So pros and cons. Pros, even at 55, like, I feel like this is very much like in the wheelhouse of everything that would cost in that price range. But during the B grade sale, if you picked one up for 20, you really got a steal. This was probably the best yo-yo they had in that B grade sale, and I think it's really great. For 20 bucks, awesome. Couldn't love it more for $20. Other pros, super great grind finish. I hope YoYoFactory uses this more and more, because it's awesome. Finger spins, clearly very good at them. It's a finger spin yo-yo. What more do you want from it? No thumb grinds. I don't know if it's pro or con, considering it is sort of a gimmicky finger spin yo-yo, but it's awesome either way for the finger spins. You can do whatever finger spin tricks you want. Great grind finish, like I said. Standard YoYoFactory bearing. I love the YoYoFactory bearing until I get cat hair in it, but then I just clean it and it's better again. So I will do that. In fact, maybe I should do that video too. The best way to clean a yo-yo bearing with canned air and stuff. So yeah, but yeah, great in that regard. Cons, like I said, a little bit unstable, a little bit lower average spin times than the original Pivot and most sort of competition-shaped yo-yos like this anyway. That's not to say they're bad spin times or that it's super unstable. It's not. It's just not as stable as the original Czech Point. So it suffers a little bit for the finger spin gimmick, which is fine. You know, I mean, you don't get a yo-yo that plays this different without like cutting back a little bit from just your straight kind of boring performance yo-yos. So this is not boring at all, and that's another pro. Hollow, different feeling, just kind of cool feeling on the string, very light and nimble. And you know, I just think the light, how light it is based on you know, it just being standard 6061 aluminum, and them not being able to push that much weight to the rims, and kind of having that hollow feeling. It's a little less stable than the original Czech Point was, and then most like YoYoFactory performance yo-yos, or like player designed yo-yos would be, or the player signature yo-yos would be. It's just not as stable as those ones are. But that's not to say it's not good and it's not fun, because it's awesome. And it's been my EDC since it showed up, and it will probably continue to be once I clean this bearing. But that is going to do it for me today, guys. Please make sure you like and subscribe. I do yo-yo videos every day. And this is one of them. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe. Cheers to you. Wait, I have coffee. Cheers to you. And I'll see you next time.